Everybody, Andy here again. Have you noticed, as I have recently, the amount of noise that you get everywhere? Noise seems to be just about everywhere nowadays. Wherever you go, whether it be car noise, traffic noise generally, trains, aeroplanes, things like that, music and music, people, I don't know, but it just seems to be a lot noisier than what it used to be. I know it might be an old person's thing, the fact that I've been around for a few years, that I've noticed the changes, but I just wonder if other sort of younger people have noticed it, or would they sort of step back and think about it, whether they would notice it. But came to the fore yesterday. I was on a train. I travel around quite a lot by train, partly through my job and use public transport and that, coming down from London yesterday afternoon, and the amount of people using mobile phones and things like that. One guy in particular caught my attention, journey of about an hour and a half, and he must have been on the phone for, I'm not joking, for at least 80% of the time. Who he was talking to and what he found to talk about, I'm not really sure, but that seems to be one of the things. I mean, you overhearing people's conversations. Some people seem to talk so loud they tend to want you to hear their conversations. I get that impression sometimes. I wouldn't thought it's hardly a novelty nowadays, is it, having a mobile phone or a cell phone, sorry if you're in other parts of the world. But the other thing with mobile phones nowadays is that the polyphonic ringtones and things like that are so much bolder than what they used to be. You can get obviously anything you want to download and put on there, I suppose, now, and they're far more louder, expressive, as sort of the whole cacophony of noise going off in the train carriage or in a car or anywhere you go. I suppose you can hear them nowadays. But it's not only that, they're also like not just mobile phones anymore, are they? They're music players, video players. They're just about personal organisers and everything else, and the noise that comes from them, people seem to think it's great to sort of play them to their friends and play through all the ringtones they've got, things like that. But so that's one thing I've noticed. But music, or music should I say, is another thing that does get me annoyed a little bit. I try not to go into a rant here, honest. But sort of, if you get a phone call, you make a phone call to someone, you get put on hold, don't you? And the music kicks in, and that's not a good sign in my opinion. As the music kicks in, you think, I'm going to be here for some time, aren't I? Recently I've had different types of music. It depends what you get, I suppose, whether it bothers you particularly. I've had sort of classical music, Mozart and things like that, which isn't too bad, inoffensive sort of stuff, I suppose. And I think it was Jack Johnson the other day, which isn't too bad, I suppose. I don't think they're going to be playing this sort of heavy rock music, which is a bit of a pity from my opinion, but it might alienate a few people. But all those things, they find you have to have it. I suppose from that point of view, putting you on hold, it doesn't mean that you are still connected, I suppose. They are letting you know that, but it just seems to make it seem a lot longer that you're waiting. I don't know, but it's not just on phones, is it? The music, you get it in elevators, lifts, whatever you want to call them. And why you would ever want to listen to music in a lift or elevator while you're going up, I don't know. It doesn't put a whole lot of confidence in you that I have to put music in there. You're obviously going to be in there for a long time. Maybe you're just not going to reach your destination. You're going to be stuck between floors for quite a long time. I don't know. But I mean, shopping centres, shopping malls, whatever you want to call them, you get music, don't you? Sort of blaring out all over the place. I know I went to Disney World a few years ago, and you got their music. I suppose it's trying to create an ambience, I suppose, keep you in a lighter frame of mind, maybe keep you moving. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get you go from one place to another. I'm not sure, but music generally, you get it in pubs, clubs, restaurants, bars, whatever you want to call it. It's everywhere. It's all right, as I said before, it's all right if you like the music. That's not too bad. But people seem to like background music generally, don't they? I don't, I must admit, because I enjoy my music very much. A bit of a music fan, music freak, whatever you want to call it. And I like to be able to hear the music. If I put music on, I listen to it. I may be in a minority there, I don't know. I know lots of people that when they're at home or wherever they may be, in the car or whatever, they have to have some sort of background noise, whether it be music or a TV on in the corner or something like that, the radio or whatever. And they're not always listening to it. I know plenty of people are like that, but for me, if I put the TV on, the radio on, I put music on, I actually listen or watch to it. I do it for a reason. If I hear music in the background, I want to know what it is. Maybe I've got an inquisitive mind, I don't know, but I know lots of people find it comforting. I actually like silence. Well, I don't think you actually get silence now, but I like silence or quiet periods or quiet places. Once again, I may be in the minority, maybe a bit strange in that respect, I don't know. Maybe that's why it annoys me slightly. Yeah, it doesn't bother me too much, too greatly, but it's just one of those little things that does annoy you. But and people also, I found that this could be my imagination, I don't know, maybe you can tell me, but I find that people themselves are generally louder, noisier than what they used to be years ago, even over the last few years. I think whether it's because they're trying to compete against all the noise that's around them, maybe their hearing's been diminished, I don't know, that's a silly point I suppose, but people seem to be louder, don't they, talk louder, whether they're on phones or whatever, I don't know, no, I'm not sure, but it seems to me that all the nice noises that you used to have, the sea, the sounds of the sea, the sounds of bird song or whatever it might be, you don't tend to get those, or I suppose if you live in certain places you might find them, which is good, you know, but town cities generally nowadays it's drowned out by sort of noise pollution. But another thing, sort of a connected subject I suppose, is light pollution. Another thing that I've noticed fairly recently, I suppose, light pollution. I remember years ago when I was a kid, something used to do, look up at the night sky, even in a town, and you could see the stars, and it sort of got me at the time sort of quite interested in astronomy and things like that. I always remember, I think it's a quote from Oscar Wilde, who said that all of us are in the gutter but some of us are looking at the stars, and I don't know if that'd be particularly possible nowadays. If you were laying on the floor looking up at the stars, you probably wouldn't see any because of all the lights and that were around, and that certainly isn't getting any better. I know that fact. You look at one of these sort of images from space of the Earth, and all you can see are these big lights, you know, where right around where the countries are. You can tell exactly where the cities are, and that by just all the light that's up there. And I think there's children, kids, people generally are actually losing out a bit in that respect. They're missing out on seeing the heavens above them and that sort of inquisitive nature that we've got as humans, I suppose. But they're also missing out on quiet, peace and quiet. Well, no, some people don't like that, but I just wonder what you think. Do you think it's got worse? Does it care? Do you care? Does it matter? I don't mind. It's just a point of view, I don't know, an observation, I suppose. So, what do you think? Would you like to see things change? So as I said, do you care? Post a comment, put a video response. I'll be interested to know whether it's just me. Maybe I'm in a minority of one, I don't know. I don't expect I am, but you never know. Anyway, thanks for listening. Right, that's all for now. Goodbye.